Hi everyone, Kathy here from Chalking with Kathy. Today I thought I'd talk to you about transfers and everything that I thought maybe you would like to know. First of all, transfers from Chalk Couture are what we use to make all of our signs and projects that we like to do. They come in various sizes, everywhere from a 4x6 up to and including 18 by 48. Now this one is an 18 by 24 and it actually is two pieces in one package. So the sugar cookies, it would make a fairly big board if that's what you were wanting to do. The most popular one is the 8.5 by 11. And this is the one most people like to use because it's a real good size, and on these they can be cut apart. As you can see, there's lines right here along here. You can see the cut lines. That's where you would cut this one apart to do. And this is a dual transfer where you do it in two parts. You put this part down first, and then this would be the overlay to make the truck. And you could use different colors of paste with it. It'd be a lot of fun. Now, on the back of each chalk transfer package are the instructions laid out step by step by step of how to use the transfers and what to do. So anytime that you get a chalk transfer and you think, oh gosh, I can't remember how to do that, just turn the package over and on the back you'll find all the instructions you need to do your project with. Now then, I was going to use these little transfer here to show you. This is a little 4x6 transfer. And actually this is on the back of the backing. It's the first one I've come across that it's actually on the backing. Now what they tell you to do is there's some little tricks that you can do. It makes it easier if you have this, especially when you're cutting them apart, you could cut a little jagged or something and then it doesn't seem like your transfer fits back on your back again. So one of the tricks that I saw to do was to take a corner where there's a lot of blue, where this is not the transfer part, it's just what sticks on there, and just cut a little corner off right there so you match up both of those little cut corners whenever you go to put it back on, and that way you would get it on right and it would fit just perfectly. The other trick is, this is the transfer is on a shiny side of this backing. Let me show you. Oops. If I can get it apart here. I have the hardest time getting these off of here. I don't know why. It takes me a while. Okay. I got it separated. Can't get a hold of it. Wow. Okay. The side that the transfer goes on is really kind of shiny, and the back side is more matte. Now this one's already marked, so you really wouldn't have to do it, but just for teaching purposes, I'll show you. Mark it with a B or whatever you can use with a permanent marker, whatever you would like to use to let you know that this is the back of this transfer and this is not what the transfer goes on itself. All right, now when you first use these, they're pretty sticky, and I wanted to show you up here close. You can see maybe in the clear parts where it's not turquoise, or this is a screen print, and that's what makes these so unique, is that this is a screen print that the chalk goes in and it creates nicer lines and more definement to your project. The first thing you want to do with each new transfer is to put it on an old towel and just rub it down. You may have to do this, depending on what kind of surface you're using, a couple of times so that it's not, because some of these are really, really sticky and they were hard to get off, let me tell you. I have had a few I thought they were going to be on there forever. Then you just pull it off. Now, another trick you want to know is start at one of the corners and go to the center and pull them up by the center. Do not pull them up by a corner, because pulling them from corner to corner will stretch your transfer. If you pull it up from the center, it'll keep it from stretching. Then you would put this on your project and chalk with it. Now, as soon as you get done with it, you want to put this in a pan of water, especially if you're doing several projects or you're doing several transfers on one project, just put it in a pan of water upside down and let it remain there until you get done. You do not want the chalk to dry in on the transfer or in the screen portions especially before you can get to it. So you keep it in the pan of water will keep it moist. Now when you get done, I'm going to put this back on the backing before I stick it to something here I don't want it stuck to. Oh, I forgot to tell you. On a lot of transfers, they're kind of large and they kind of hard to get back on your backing. So one of the tricks that I read about was to take it, this little booger's really sticky, is to take your backing and put it to your transfer. It's much easier than trying to put your transfer to your backing. So you just line it up, pat it down. And this one I didn't quite get on there all the way. I mean, get it on there straight. So the smaller ones I found is easier to do this way, but the larger ones are much easier to do the other way. So just lay it down, smooth it out, and then store it flat. These can last for a very long time. In fact, the company says that you can use these anywhere from 8 to 12 times before they're not usable again. However, I have had some people tell me that they've used them as many as 20 times or more. And if you continue to take care of them the way that the company asks you to, I'm sure they'll last for a very, very long time. Now, with these, you can use these on wood. It can be painted or unpainted. However, the thing that you have to do is wax them, and you want to use Minwax paste wax or the wax that comes in my store. You want to make sure you put a nice coat of wax on it, because otherwise whenever you pull up your transfer, and don't ask me how I know this, but when you pull up your transfer, you can pull up part of your paint or wood chips or something like that along with it, and it can ruin your transfer. It won't be as sticky as it's supposed to be. You can use it on metal. You can use it on your chalkboards, of course. You can use it on any chalkboard. If you don't use it on a Chalk Couture chalkboard, you need to wax it. Art canvases. I use it on art canvases, and they turn out really cute. Love the effect that you have with the art canvas. I did find, however, that I preferred painting the canvas itself because it's not quite as textured, and I don't have as much problems with clear lines on my design itself. You can use it on chipboard. I used it on some gift bags that I found that I thought were cute and made a birthday bag. But be sure and wax the bag before you put it on there. Otherwise, you're going to be pulling out bits of paper with your transfer. Then your transfer is not going to stick very well the next time, or it may not stick at all. Now, you can use it with chalk paste or couture ink. And the surfaces that I just told you about are great to use with either one. You can also use these transfers with fabric, on glass, anything that you can heat with the couture ink. And if you use it on fabric, you're going to be ironing it for 4 minutes on each side afterwards with a piece of parchment paper over the top of it to make sure that it, you don't get your iron on the ink itself. That way it'll set it and make it permanent. You can put it on glass, on anything that you can put in your oven and bake for 30 minutes at 350. You can put it on and the ink will be permanent after that. Now, with the chalk, if you put it on whatever surface you put it on with the chalk, it's washable. You can spray it with some water or just dampen it and it'll wash right off, or you can make it permanent by using a clear sealer, such as Rust-Oleum's clear sealer. Let's see, what did I forget? Cleaning and storing. The cleaning, I told you to put it in the water bath as soon as you get done with it if you're not going to be able to clean it right away. Otherwise, you just take a Clorox wipe or a disinfectant wipe, whatever you have on hand, it doesn't matter. And I actually wet my surface first. And that's just so my transfer doesn't stick to my surface whenever I lay it down to clean it. These clean very easily, and they look like they're almost brand new whenever you get done cleaning them. Just lay it down on your wet surface. You clean it good with your disinfectant wipe. And the reason you use that is because they're lint free and won't get into the screen of the silk screen. See, that's still stuck. That's pretty good sticky transfer. Then you just clean the back good and make sure you get all the chalk off of it. And you'd lay it on either a nice absorbent towel, old towel, or you could put it on a wire rack and let it dry. When it dries, then you'd replace it back onto your backing again. Storing them, you want to put them back in their original packages. That's just the way I do it. Maybe you'd find something different. I have seen people that do it in different ways. Let me dry this surface off a little bit. I would put them back in the packages simply because it just keeps them together. One transfer, because one transfer can have, like this one that I showed you, can have several different little pieces. If you were to cut this apart, this is meant to be one piece, but you can cut this one apart and use different parts of it on different projects if you wanted to. So you'd wind up with a lot of little pieces and you'd want them all together. Make sure you store them flat. Don't let them get bent or curled, or you can have problems with the transfer later. I mean, when you spread them out, they're going to be able to go out smooth on your surface. However, you might have a kink in a fold line in it that isn't going to prove to be very well, and it won't seal real good in that spot. Some people, I don't have one yet, I'm planning on getting one in the future, get the art portfolios, and those are fairly big notebooks that you can open up and have sleeves in them where you can put your transfers down inside, and then you can just page through them and find which ones you want. Right now I'm doing it on the thumb through all my transfers and see which one I want. It's not organized at all. Let's see. I think I probably have hit on every aspect of the transfers today. I can't think of any other tips or tricks that you might want to know. But if you do have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. Transfers, you can find them at my shop, www.vintagepaintandmore.chalkcouture.com, or you can find them on my Facebook shop. There's many transfers to choose from. I mean, you could do a project a day for a long time and not get through all the transfers. There's so many fun ones. I just can't wait to do them, and so many ways to use them. So check them out, look at them, see which ones you like, and try one out. You know, I mean, you'll get hooked in no time, I'm telling you. So that's all I have for today. Thank you for stopping in, and have lots of fun crafting.